this chair? One of the chairs. Too cold? Really? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم Amen. We have been studying trying to understand actually what worship is, and we have been again exploring the meaning of worship throughout the verses of the Quran. Now today is the fourth part, that section we are going to study. Last week we studied this verse from Araf, the 7th chapter of the Quran, verse 170, and we saw the combination of Asma, the names of God, and making prayer to God through the names. We emphasized on the importance of distorting or doing any distortion in the names of God. We covered that one, but at the very end, because of the time constraints, we couldn't go over this. They will be recompensed. The last sentence or last phrase in the verse, they will be recompensed for what they have been doing. We said this recompensation is not going to take in the hereafter as far as our interest in understanding the Quranic message is concerned. It may be in the hereafter, it will be in the hereafter, but we have to establish this, that it is the case here. That's what we have to concentrate on. What we mean, if someone distorts the names of God, he will, if you like, this person will suffer from it, will be punished for it because of his own attitude in this world, because of his own mistake in this world. In the hereafter, let's understand here first. We always concentrate on understanding the case here. That's why we want to make sure that my understanding of this verse makes sense for me right now, and I can confirm it right now, so that if in other verse tells me that it will in your eternal life also, it will this understanding or this status of yours will continue and transferred into the eternal life. We say yes, possible, because the one who makes me or creates me in this world, let me understand that really, if I distort the names of God, if I do any distortion in the names of God, I will suffer from it. How do we think that if someone distorts the names of God, will suffer? Any comment? Any idea? Anybody, please, feel free. How do we think that if someone distorts the names of God in this world, will suffer from his or her own distortion while in this world? So I will understand that, yes, that is correct. Would you try?
I guess I just feel like you have a sense of disappointment You'd be suffering because you'd have endless needs or endless things that you feel like are never going to be fulfilled, whether you call them human desires or different sorts of things. If you look at the things and say, oh, they are doing this to themselves, or they sustain themselves, it kind of becomes meaningless and a little bit disheartening or confusing, I suppose. So in that way, you'd feel, I don't know, some sort of loss or some sort of discomfort in this fact.
So if someone says, the things are happening by themselves randomly, or, I don't know, out of coincidences,
That would be the
so
worst,
it is
because
disheartening because it goes against human nature. That is the distortion in the names of the Creator. Do you mean that? That's the distortion in the names of the Creator. It means the names of the Creator means the qualities manifested in the things belong to their Creator. They cannot be logically accepted that they themselves giving their quality to themselves. It doesn't make sense. There is a conscious choice, there is a conscious will behind the qualities of the things, and we don't see any traces of consciousness in the matter itself. So the actions or the movements in the matter are not motivated or originated excuse me, by the Creator, by the creatures, by the things, by the beings themselves. They cannot really originate their own actions because they are made. They are being made. They are not agents. So whatever appears on them, whatever the qualities they have on themselves, are given to them by their Maker. So if someone says, or if anybody is of the idea that they are making themselves, they have to say, this is meaningless haphazard happenings. So as a result, my existence becomes also meaningless, haphazard being. And human beings, no one is using their human qualities can accept that I am meaningless, I am a result of accident, I have no value, I am the result of just random happenings. This makes the human beings fall into complete meaninglessness, so complete hopelessness. No value. Then we start speaking about human values on a baseless argument. We speak about human values. Why are you talking about human values? Humans themselves are meaningless if we say that the qualities happen to be by themselves. That's why humanity loses its value. You become valueless. The punishment lies in the attitude itself. You lose every value that you want to have. That's why they will be recompensed, سَيُجْزَوْنَ بِمَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. They will be recompensed for what they have been doing in this world. Because they will get their result from their own attitude towards themselves, towards their reality. of course, if my human qualities are not satisfied, if I denied my own values, so I I cannot get any pleasure out of it. I cannot have any hope from it. So I cannot really develop my human qualities with an expectation that they will grow, they will develop, they will improve in a way that my expectations will be fulfilled. If somebody is a student in a school, if he doesn't see the purpose of being in the school, just says that I happen to be here accidentally, do you think he feels to learn anything? Need to learn anything? Does he prepare himself or herself for any future? Happen to be there by accident. Why should he or she learn something, improve his or her human qualities? There is no point in improvement. There is no point in development, human development. Do you see any point? Why should I work? Because I say I am here temporarily, accidentally, and I will disappear. Why should I bother? Meaningless life. But if we realize that what human logic requires, necessitates, there is a conscious will, conscious choices going on here. Everything is so meaningless. Meaningful. Perfect, they have perfect meaningful. Everything is working for a perfect end. This shows that the qualities of their creator manifests the qualities of their creator. And human beings have the quality to respond back to these qualities. It means learn from these qualities. Adjust themselves according to their human qualities, according to the qualities of the creator of the universe, and get to know him better. So that is improvement, that is human improvement. Attaching themselves, referring themselves to the creator of the universe, saying that I am his product. I am the product of the creator of the universe. Every quality is so perfect, so I have to get to know him better through my actions, because I have a free will as well. Through my free will, what I do, I choose this, not that. I make preferences, I make choices. When I make choices, according to the qualities manifested in the universe, get to know these qualities better and refer myself to these qualities. For example, I see orderliness in the universe. I say I must choose to be an orderly person. I see wisdom in the universe. I must choose to follow my wisdom. So do wise actions. So in this way, I improve my human qualities, because I am here. I understand that with my own human consciousness, to know who my Lord is and to get to know him. It gives a target, it gives a purpose, it gives a hope for you why you should develop your human qualities. If there is no creator, if there is no conscious choice behind my existence, why should I bother about my human qualities?
I don't know, just to play devil's advocate. I know a lot of people who, I think they are inclined to think there's something out there, as they would say, but they don't justify that to develop themselves or to be good people, or they don't use that to justify why they're doing good acts. They just say, oh, my philosophy is I need to be a good person and treat people well, but they don't make that connection. So they don't feel depressed, or they don't feel, at least as far as I see, they're fine.
But they should. Otherwise, they contradict themselves. If they don't, they contradict themselves. But what is going on usually, because we are created with the qualities, with the inclinations, with the tendencies to utilize our human qualities. But we have to ask the question, why I should do it? If someone says there is no God at all, everything happens by itself, and then tries to make an improvement in his human qualities, it is contradictory. It means they should revise their understanding, their conclusion about the existence out there, also their existence, about their own existence as well.
It's probably just lack of thought. I mean, no one really goes through the whole thought
They
process.
should. If they don't, we should. We should be consistent. I mean, if somebody listens to you, let them know, or remind them. At least remind them. Be consistent within yourself. You want to be good for what? Where did you get this idea? You want to be helpful to others. You want to be wise. You want to do some conscious choices and useful things, purposeful actions, perform purposeful actions. Why? Where did you get these ideas? Do you think the chance can produce all this? Accidents produce all this? And make it so consistent with all human qualities together. Because we have to value ourselves. It means we shouldn't ignore our values. Not extra values we should attach ourselves, no. Just we should not ignore the already existing values within ourselves. We are very virtuous, very valuable beings. So we have to question why. Why do I have so high aspirations? If you ask a child, what do you want to do? And he says, I want to be a doctor. Then as a child, as innocent as they are, so why do you want to be a doctor? No one said, I'm going to make a lot of money. When they grow, they change their mind. So under the influence of the society. They say, I want to help the poor people, needy people, old people, ill people. That is human nature speaking, explicitly exposing themselves out there. But listen to children very carefully. They never want to be a bad guy at all. It is in their existence, in their being. Deliberately put, these aspirations should not be distorted. As people, when they distort the names of the qualities, perfect qualities of the Creator in the universe by ascribing them to accidents or meaninglessness, haphazard happenings. I go crazy when I hear this to myself. How can they really ascribe this beautiful 3-4 years old child speaking with a very high aspirations and unimaginable goals they have for their future? Where did they get it? Where did they get it? How come that those qualities happen to be within their human nature, within their being? Because the particles don't have these qualities, so that they will really transfer it into their minds. Right? So we kill them ourselves by ignoring the reality. Recently, I read, a friend of mine sent it to me, Mark Twain's one sentence from him saying the human beings die at the age of 27, but they are buried at the age of 72. What does it mean? As perfect as we are from birth, from the first creation, we start questioning. We have wonderful aspirations, goals for our life. Now, everybody wants to be good, everybody wants to learn, everybody wants to help other people, help animals, help plants. Listen to children. So if you let them go into the park or any wood or any countryside, they love everything. They want to communicate with everything. And then start questioning, Mom, why is it like this? Why this one is in this way and another one different from the other? They ask questions, why and why and why? So the mom says, okay, then I have enough of you. Come on, shut up. Because mom doesn't have the answer for or a mom or dad doesn't have the answer for himself or herself because he killed. After 27, he's dead. I mean, 27, I don't know why he said that it is 27, but somewhere around there, we kill our qualities, human qualities. And we stop questioning, we stop wondering, we stop really concentrating on our human qualities. And then saying, okay, now I have to be realistic. What is realistic? To make money, to look after my children, that's my education, that's finished. No, don't think of the reality out there. So life becomes monotonous, a routine, very boring routine, and wait, all our aspirations turns into the hope after we get retired. And then no one says what to do. No one talks about it because you are very end of your life. Even if you retire, you don't have to go to your office or you don't have to go to your business anymore. Yes, you are retired. You have some certain income, but does it satisfy you yet? You sit in the house in front of the screen and watch and die. That's what I think. It's a beautiful description of it. When you stop questioning, when you lose your hope, when you really stop using your human values, you are dead. Although you walk in the street, but you are dead. When your life, your spirit leaves your body, so they put the body they bury the body in the soil, but doesn't matter, you were dead anyway. It is meaningful, very meaningful. To me, I found it very interesting to draw our attentions. We should not stop questioning. We should not stop wondering. Always, everything. Look for the meaning of everything. Yep.
Dr. Ali, what if you have like someone in your family who is already in that position where, like you just kind of said, like they're older and they feel like they've kind of lost meaning in their life? Like, how do you kind of bring them back out of that?
You know why? I'm speechless there. I think we have to take notice of ourselves.
But what if it's like a parent or something?
Yes, first ourselves. We have to live with our own aspirations. we have to practice our own understanding, make the life meaningful, and refer ourselves to the manifestations of the names of the Creator on the thing. Keep speaking. Never stop really relating our existence to our Creator. Always be an example, nothing more. Because as young generations, if they are your parents, it is very difficult for the parent to take advice from their children. So rather than taking up a position of advice giving, it is very hard for the parents to accept this. I mean, they should, but I don't know, very difficult. We all know that there are some reasons, because when they were young, they should do that. If they don't, they should at least regret that they didn't, so that they will be ready to receive from their children. But it is not very common practice that we observe in the society. So be happy with yourself. Lead a meaningful life in yourself. So they will see that why my daughter is so happy. What makes her be happy in the world? So they will understand that your belief, your real confidence in your Creator, and your attempt to get to know who your Creator is and use your human qualities in order to get to know your Creator. So develop them, improve them, educate them to get to know their Creator. That is worship. So they will understand that within this worship, because in the Quran, worship and religion are equally dealt with. It means they are equated to each other. Religion, worship, and the names of God, observing the names of God in the creation. When we do that in our own life, we will, of course, feel that we are really getting to know the absolute Creator as much as we can. So all of our human qualities will become meaningful. And of course, the meaningfulness gains value. So with the value, you are aspired with the higher level of existence. Not only a material being. It means I have my flesh, I have my bones, I have my blood, and I am that only. So I happen to be in this form accidentally, and I happen to be taken away from this world accidentally, so I have no value for myself, really. That is the opposite of, that is called really distorting the names of God in our existence. Attributing, for example, my intelligence to an accidental happening, my emotions to accidental, haphazard, meaningless, purposeless happenings. I found myself loving, for example, helping somebody, or preserving, for example, a small kitten. You know, if it is going to die, for example, of hunger, if you give that kitten some food, you feel happy. Why? Especially let the children. They go crazy when they see a small bird, a small kitten, a baby animal. When they see a lamb, for example, they go crazy. Why? Why? They are really, if you like, associating their feelings with the existence of their beauty in their existence, the beauty in their existence. They are really sympathizing, communicating with the manifested names of the Creator there in the existence of the things, and the vehicle to communicate with the names manifested in the creation the same names manifested in human creation as well. That's what we studied. That's what the verse says. I taught all the names. I taught Adam all the names. It means we are now ready to correspond what is going on in the universe and what is in my being. So we should introduce themselves. We should let them relate to each other and become acquainted with the names of the Creator so that they will develop there. The more you help, the more you love the creation, the more you love the qualities of the creation, the more you really value manifested in the creation, the more you become aware of the qualities of the Creator. So introduce yourself. That's how we should live in this world. Make our life meaningful. We can only present an exemplary life to our parents, nothing more. If they are being nuisance, we have to again manifest the names of God. We do a lot of wrong things. What happens? Does God get angry with us? Well, I feel most of the time I neglect God. And I don't feel anything bad happening to me suddenly. So patient. Yeah, the most patient. God is the most patient. Sabbar. The most patient. So we have to experience that manifestation of the name of God in ourselves as well. So we have to be very patient with our parents as well. They will understand, how can you do that? They will say, yes, you can just say, my God is patient. And I have to relate my patience to Him, get to know Him better by practice, by practicing. So if they want to get any message from it, they can. Otherwise, by speaking, or especially, God forbid, preaching them is not the way. It causes a lot of distraction and maybe really destroys the relationship. Just be a good example. I appreciate your concerns, but we can do nothing more than conveying the message in our practical life, practically. So, we understand that if we don't see the manifestation, if we distort the names manifested in the creation, we are the losers because we turn our life meaninglessness into meaninglessness. Does it make sense? So the recompensation that we experience here is already apparent. So if you don't study, if you don't learn, if you don't develop your abilities, at the end of the education years, what happens? You wouldn't get the degree, and you wouldn't learn anything. You will be as ignorant as you were. So you wouldn't understand about anything, and that is the punishment. So the life is the same. If we don't develop the names of manifestations of the names of our Creator in our being, what happens? We wouldn't learn anything. We will be losers. So this verse, the following verse, let's study this verse now. Can anybody put the mic? So, who would like to read it? Yeah, Tarek, would you like to read?
ما تعبدون من دونه إلا أسماء سميتموها أنتم وآباؤكم ما أنزل الله بها من سلطان إن الحكم إلا لله أمر ألا تعبدوا إلا إياه ذلك الدين القيم ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون.
So look at the verses. I think one of the purpose of our discussion, our class, is to draw our attention to the content of the verses and what the Quran is all about. What we usually hear, not this kind of verses. I can ask you how many classes or khutbah or sermons you attended, and the person who presented the class or conducted the class or presented the sermon brought up these verses. Any sermon, in one sermon, I heard, for how many years I have been going to the mosque. I'm not blaming anybody, just drawing your attention to the seriousness of this Quran, that we, as the Quran says itself, these people who read me, made me, that sent me into immigration, or mahjur, hijrah, immigration, but it means refugee. They say send it into refugee camps and put them away. They put me away from their life. Do you know this verse? Have you? But you might have heard of this. They made me mahjur. It means they really expelled me from their land. Although the Mus'haf is in our hand, but the Quran is expelled from our world. That's what I understand from this beautiful verse. We can study that. I'm not accusing anybody. I don't want to accuse anybody who really tries to convey the message of the Quran to you. But at the same time, what I see in this world, what is going on, is incredible. I challenge you, all the verses we study here, you have never heard in one of the khutbah or Friday prayer. Look, I can see no hand raising. No, I heard once somebody was studying this verse. It's not within the concern of the Muslim population. Why? We don't know what the Quran is. We don't know our culture. Whatever it is in culture, we keep repeating the culture. It's a disaster to me. Look at this verse. Let's read the verse now. I'm not blaming anybody, but really pay attention to what these verses, how beautiful they are, how serious they are, how essential they are to our understanding of who we are in this world, what is expected from us. Really stop studying this. Ramadan is coming, the value of Ramadan fasting. Stop, that's enough. Every year, keep repeating the same thing. Preparing for Ramadan. The same thing. Study these verses. These are in the Quran. If you value the Quran. Even if you don't value the Quran, even if somebody doesn't believe in the Quran as the word of God, still they are beautiful. Very challenging, very inviting to think, is it true or not? You don't have to believe that this is the word of God in order to benefit from it, but at the end you will understand that my Lord, my Creator is speaking to me. Just start with an open mind. What these verses are telling me now? Is it really true? Are they really true? So you can read it now. The verse, the meaning, English, yeah?
All that you worship instead of God is nothing but names which you have invented, you and your forefathers, for which God has sent down no authority. Judgment rests with God alone. He has ordained that you should worship none but Him. That is the right religion, but most people do not know.
Now, this names Now, be careful now. Let's study together. I don't have my glasses, so I can see that. Right. So I have to look at the screen as well. Let's study now. The names which you have invented. Worship. The first Quran says worship. That, and then comes to the subject of names, and God has sent down no authority on those names. It means these, you cannot really how do you say, defend these names that you invented, apart from God's names. I mean, any quality in the universe, if somebody attributes the qualities in the universe to anything within the universe, they cannot support it. It means God has set down no authority, means they cannot support it. They cannot prove it. They cannot defend it. For example, let's say, oh, look at the trees there, they are blossoming, they are beautiful. Look at, where did they get the beauty? If they make it, if they do a distortion, this beauty comes from nature itself. The Quran says you cannot prove it. There is no authority there. It means you cannot really defend this idea. What is nature that will make the flowers or the trees or the world, the sunset or the clouds so beautiful and attractive for you? You cannot prove it. So from worship to, if you like, invented, distorted names, do you understand? And then these names cannot be defended at all if they are distorted, if they are attributed to anything other than the creator of the universe. You cannot defend it, and we should worship none but the creator. It means attribute all the qualities in the creation to the creator by attributing these qualities to the creator. That is the core of worship. That is worship. And that is the right religion. When you say, I am religious, what do you mean by it? Explain me. I pray, I fast, live that. Come to the verse. Who or what do you refer the qualities in the creation? Do you say that, for example, it is made, everything is made beautiful, this is the quality of the creator, or it happened to be like this? That is your religion. Which one? Which one? These are created on purpose by the absolute creator, and this creator, it has absolute qualities, must have absolute qualities. That's why the things, every single thing is sent with, or is given existence with a certain beauty. They are sent beautifully. They are made beautifully. They are useful. They are wise, wisely made. But if somebody, all that you worship instead of God is nothing but names which you have invented, or your forefathers, they will say, who are the forefathers now? Materialist scientists are the forefathers. Yeah? Scientists say so. What does it mean? Can they really prove that the order, the beauty, the wisdom, the knowledge, the purpose apparent in every part of the particle of the universe, every particle of the universe, none of them is silly, none of them is purposeless? can you logically attribute it to particles themselves? Can you? So I am growing, yes. A baby is growing, yes. You say the baby is growing. Can you attribute the growth to the particles themselves? When they are growing, when the babies are growing, or the plants are growing, animals are growing, all the planets are moving, all the perfect qualities, can you attribute these qualities to accidents? Logically? Logically, I am saying, not religiously, logically. Accidents. Accidents haphazard accidents, by themselves, by chance. I became like this, a thinking man, questioning whether chance really exists or not. By chance, I question chance. Think. People are crazy. Yeah, that's why the Quran challenges them. You know, all the names you invented, you worship instead of God, that is worship. Whatever you say, if you say everything is happening by chance, it is worshiping chance. So if you say, no, it is a conscious being who created all of them, that's your worship. Wake up. We just imagine, I bet, and I challenge almost all of you, including myself, we don't know what worship is. We think that worship, doing some rituals, certain rituals is worship. It's nothing to do with it. And we say we are Muslims. We say we learned this from the Quran. I challenge you, it has nothing to do with the Quran, your understanding of worship. Think about it, the matter is so serious. Quran says, look, all that you worship instead of God is nothing but names which you have invented. Go back to the previous verses we studied. When you worship, if you accept that these names belong to the Creator, that is worship of the Creator. If you say that they are happening by itself, that is worship of the matter. That is worship. Why do you take worship into certain rituals? Establish the notion of concept of worship on a reasonable, acceptable, and strong foundation. This worship acknowledging whom or what the universe belongs to. Make sure that first. And this source of existence, or the cause of existence of the universe, is my object of worship. That's called God. That when you say God, that's it, God. That's God. God is not somebody sitting somewhere in Mecca. This is God, the creator of the universe. All the qualities in the universe belong to Him. This consciousness is the very foundation of worship. Now, accordingly, now define your life. I am in front of this God. I have to get to know Him. Use your all human qualities in order to get to know Him. Now, communicate with Him. Respond back to Him. If you love something, say, thank you. You gave me something that made me feel pleased. That is the worship. Now, one form of worship, after it, because it ends after verse, is they are beautiful. The eloquence of the verses are beautiful. It ends up with Look, ذلك الدين القيم. ذلك الدين القيم. That is the upright religion. When you say, I am a religious man, okay, what makes you feel religious? You say, I am looking at the tree. I am looking at the flower. I am looking at the mosquito. That makes me be religious. Don't say that I pray 5 times a day. It comes at the very end. Foundations are to be established first. If you don't know all the qualities in the universe belong to somebody, and you have to belong to the Creator, and you have to communicate with Him through the same names manifested within yourself. Decipher the meaning of the manifested names in the universe and get to know Him and communicate with Him. Say, you are the one who gave me this wisdom. You are the one, you gave me this compassion. You are the one, you gave me the love of perfection, love of orderliness, love of balanced, love of beauty, love of help, love of protection, love of having a meaningful life, and communicate with the rest of the universe in His name. This is worship. And then you understand that at a certain time you do certain ritualistic activities, yes. But that comes at the end, not in the beginning. You cannot establish that I am a worshiper, my religion is such, and then the sign of it is I do certain rituals. No base. How do you feel about it? I feel ridiculous. Foundations are missing. That's why people don't feel confident in their religion. They are even ashamed of saying that I follow a religion. They will think that in the society only uneducated or non-educated people are religious. Those people who have faith, not really reason, logic, consistency in thinking, they are not religious people, they are scientists. They say. This is the impression, if you like. That's the label put on the people. Why? Because of our misrepresenting religion. Because of our misconception of religion. Because of our own mistake. We show our religiosity in our rituals, not in the way that when I look at the clouds like this, what do? I'm worshiping my Creator. I am really communicating with Him. How beautifully He is making this world for me. And then, when time comes, you pray. That's the result of it. That's the result of my religion, not basis of my religion. That's the fruit of my religion, not base of it. Without the tree, we claim to have fruit. It is impossible. It is impossible. We have to wake up. Is it too much, Eric? Okay.
So I guess I agree with you in that we have to rethink worship. And this is a very big problem with the forefathers and precedent of other ideas of ritual being worship. My question to you is, why do you think it is? Is it because it's just easier to make worship 5 minutes of the day? Because it's actually a lot of work to remember Allah, and it's very easy to forget Him, right?
To me, if you don't misunderstand, we don't believe in the hereafter. We don't believe in the eternity of life. We don't believe in the greatness of God. Although we keep saying Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, when somebody takes Shahada, I really look at them. What are they doing? Allahu Akbar! What did you do? When did you take your Shahada? No. I am born Muslim. How ridiculous it is. When did you make your Shahada? Witnessing. When did you observe the reality and confirm it? It's shameful. Not easy to claim and nationalize, appropriate the religion and put yourself on the saved category of the people. Not only for Muslims, Christians. Believe in Jesus, you are saved. Believe in Muhammad, you are saved. Of course, the people of children of Israel are from birth they are saved. That's it. It's easy to categorize yourself among the saved ones, but use all of your human qualities to make progress in this world, get a proper job and good income, etc. This is the hidden worship of the world. We can transfer it. Very easy. It's not very difficult. Don't reduce religion to certain things, but make it your world view. Worship God 24 hours a day. When you wake up, that is God's action. When you go to sleep, that's God's action. Be aware of it and communicate with Him. Thank you for making me tired and be in need of resting. This is from you. Thank you when you wake up. Say, thank you for giving me the rest. Now, this is a communication from you. I welcome it and I am thankful, I am grateful for it. Communicate. Make it your real life. That's starting from worship, going through names of God or distorted names of something else, and not claim, Quran's claim that if you don't attribute the perfection, the qualities of perfection in the creation to anything other than the creator of the universe, you cannot prove it. There is no evidence for it. The creator says, I have not given any evidence for it, challenges it. Yeah. And then this is the right religion. If you study the Arabic side of it, or original language, you just, what you do? Prostrate. Nothing. Prostrate, the beauty of the presenting, summarizing your whole life in one sentence. Prostrating. You can just prostrate, say, really that is the word or the sentence it summarizes my whole life. Look at this. ما تعبدون من دونه إلا أسماء سميتموها أنتم وآباءكم. Your great forefathers, whatever the people you think that I have to emulate. Now the forefathers are, in this century, I'm not saying all scientists, but materialist scientists. Not all of them. They are very respectful scientists. They are very honest scientists. But also those people who made up names attribute them the qualities to not the creator of the universe, but to meaningless sources like accident, like nature, explaining nature by nature. So ridiculous. Those people are the forefathers. They invented these names, saying that natural happenings, natural goodness, for example. What are they? Are they the creators or not? What are they? Make the religion for yourself a living thing for your own communication with your own life within the universe. So we say religion is way of life. What do you mean by it? Because you have to practice and 5 daily prayers, and you shouldn't drink alcohol. That's way of life. But when you look at the clouds, they are clouds, and then there is no names of perfections, names of perfection of the Creator manifesting itself to you. How awesome He is, how great He is. He is the one who takes care of you. He is the one who prepared this world for you. You don't see that. And if you don't see that, your life is wasted. Some people wanted to say something.
I wanted to say that most people I meet aren't really atheists or scientists, and they're not they don't have like very strong feelings about Darwin. It's not usually that way. Most people I meet, they say they're spiritual, not religious. So they do believe in God. I think that's what they mean when they say I'm spiritual. But everybody's put off by religion. It's like not fashionable. That's what I think.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot.
Why?
Makes no sense.
Why do you think? Because I
They
think
do believe in
I'm
God.
excited here. This worship here, the worship. Look at and then names, yeah. And then if you attribute the qualities, names to anything other than God, no logical consistency. No, you cannot find. So you should worship Him alone, because it doesn't make sense to worship others. That is the right religion. Be careful. That is the right religion. Have you ever seen anybody introducing religion within this context, the above context? And when they say that they believe in God, but they don't believe in the religion, what they mean, nothing to do with this. Religion means some authority, some clergy, some institutions, either church or the synagogue or mosque. And they don't agree with that. Neither do I agree with them. So if you say that they are atheists, I'm atheist as well, in this sense. Because we cannot reduce religion to institutions. Because the religion is worship. Worship is acknowledging the names, proper names, and attributing the names and communicating with these manifested names in the world. But most people don't know. وَلَكِنْ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. But that's what we have to be very careful in our presentation of when they say what your religion is. My religion, I love beautiful birds. That's my religion. Not I love my mosque. Mosque is a building you and somebody else made it. Why don't you say that I love this tree? I love listening to the birds singing. Yeah, the children playing. Yeah, that's the religion. Make it real. As the Quran puts it. As the Quran puts it. Okay. Oh, please go ahead. Yeah. Speak up, yeah.
So you said that religion is when you are grateful for everything and you love everything around you because it's created by God. Similarly, do you love difficulty? Do you love things that are a test for you? Good things are tests for you too, but so are hard times. How do you reach that point where you start thanking God for testing you and for difficulty?
You used the word test. Yeah? Did I hear you wrongly? No, test.
Yes.
Why do you say test? Why don't you say the means of education, means of training? Why don't we say it? So do you think when I was a baby, everything is fine, I am getting old, it is a test. No, this I am experiencing my God, my Creator's names better. I'm realizing that when I cannot really use my legs as young people do. No? So when I walk a little bit, they start aching and I feel the pain. So I say, yeah, they don't belong to me. That's correct. I come to know through my own experience that they don't belong to me. I cannot control it, let alone my elements or the particles or the cells that they can control me. So the whole thing, the setting of this universe is a perfect school, education, college. So in the school, sometimes the teacher tells you one sentence which is correct, and you say, yes, that is correct. Sometimes give you, to draw your attention to the right answer, gives you, is it really correct to say 2 plus 2 makes 5? You say, 2 plus 2 makes 5, does it really? Oh, no. You know, this challenging, these are the means of education. There is nothing but education in the universe. Educating us, training us, preparing us to know who our Lord is, not to miss the point. When human beings forget about it, for example, when we get ill or something goes wrong, yeah, we start saying, no, why? Don't let me correct it, and I cannot correct it by myself. Again, go back to the Creator and say that you have to prepare some source of healing, some medicine for it. Again, ask for Him. So He says, okay, I cut my finger, yeah, and it bleeds. 2 minutes later, it stops. 5 days later, it is woven up again, repaired. So what does it say? Look, I am teaching you, you need this. You know, teaching, education. Because the purpose of life is to get to know who our Lord is here. Not to have any difficulties, no difficulty at all. Do you think we will never question? That's how we are. So test doesn't mean that really a trap or hardship. No, a means of teaching. Only, I repeat this, only bad teachers uses the exams or tests to know the students' qualities. But the good teachers, how much they learn. But the good teachers uses the test as an extension of the teaching process. The universe's owner is a good teacher. Extension of the teaching process. One day he teaches, the second day he teaches again, the third day he says, okay, now what have you learned so far? Revise it. Give us a question, maybe a challenging question, you concentrate on it, you learn better. That is the sign of good teacher. Teaching uses the test. That's why when we read the Quran, when it says fitna, yuftanun, for example, you will be subject to fitna, we understand in a bad way. Do you think, be frank, do you think the one who created you tries you to topple you down and make you fall into a trap? If he was going to do that, why he should have created me from the beginning anyways? If he is not going to let me progress, help me progress in my purpose in my existence, he should do that? We have to understand that everything in this creation, whatever happens in this creation, for the purpose of educating me, helping me to fulfill my mission in this world, which is getting to know my Creator, connecting with Him. connecting with Him, so that I will understand who my Lord is and leave this school. Get my degree, leave the school, now become a professional according to level of your school, level of your degree, grade of your degree, then that is your eternal life, the beginning of eternal life. This is just a 4 years college education, if you like. This world is nothing. So do you think a teacher punishes their student? Is a good teacher? Just to punish them. Or use every opportunity to teach them. Every opportunity for their teaching. Yes.
I just wanted to ask, see what you think about that. So, am I mistaken to think then, when reading a verse like this, going back to the sister's question too about like how religion is presented and people are scared away from it and stuff like that? It sounds really simple. Like it sounds really simple,
Yes.
easy.
It's easy.
As in, even doesn't go against how I feel like things should go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or am I taking it in a very superficial way? Because I know that you forget and you don't attribute everything and every moment to. But when I do remember, I don't have a problem doing that. Like,
Yeah. You do it. You do it. It's not easy. It's not simple. It is easy, but real, and that's how you develop. Otherwise, what you do, you don't improve your human qualities. You torture yourself by following the rituals. The rituals become meaningful, beautiful, lovable, sweet to you when you start from there, from the Quran starts. And when you look at the universe as it is, communicate with the creator of the universe, and really establish a loving relationship with him when the sun sets, and go and say, God is the greatest. It's beautiful. You love it. Otherwise, all the rituals become a burden on you. And you think that because of the religious duties, you are suffering. You are limiting. You are really preventing yourself from the happiness of this world. Because of the base is wrong. Or, to me, no base, or rotten base. Your forefathers taught you. Whatever they've taught you. That's what I personally love it. Religion becomes your life. And so easy. Everything is smooth. You feel very comfortable. You don't feel any burden. You don't have to do something that you don't feel like doing. Do you understand? You enjoy it. You are hungry, you eat. Do you feel a burden that you have to eat? You enjoy it. That's why the religion, if you follow the sequence of this verse, follow that, become aware of it. This is the worship, this is the religion. Follow this word, man. Look at this word, challenging words, be careful. The words are incredibly meaningful and really teaches you what religion is. Read it now.
فأقم وجهك للدين حنيفا فطرة الله التي فطر الناس عليها لا تبديل لخلق الله ذلك الدين القيم ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون.
Now, please pay attention to the religion again here, within which context the word religion has been used. Can you please, one of you, read it, please? Go ahead.
So set your face upright to the religion, unswervingly upright, in accordance with the original disposition from God upon which he constituted human beings. Let there be no change to corrupt what God has thus created. That is the right religion, but most people do not know.
Now, what does it mean now? How the verse starts now? set your face upright to the religion, unswervingly upright. How can I make it upright? No, in accordance with the original disposition from God upon which He constituted human beings. It means this one, فطر الناس عليها. فطرة الله. How God constituted you. Nothing should contradict you. Nothing should be extra to you as you are. If you feel that it's an extra, that is not religion. That's a burden you are carrying for nothing. Do you follow it? So, the upright to the religion. What is this religion? Unswervingly upright. It means exactly as you are constituted. That on which God constituted human beings. It means, we keep saying in our discussions, in our classes, religion means not contradicting yourself. Religion means not contradicting yourself, because as the verse says, let there be no change to corrupt what God has thus created. لا تبديل لخلق الله. It means you should not change yourself at all. You should not contradict yourself at all. Act according to exactly how you were constructed. Be perfect in accordance with your own way that you are created. You are made. Don't contradict yourself. And look at this. Again comes the same word comes again. ذَلِكَ الدِّينُ الْقَيِّمُ. This is the right religion. Do you understand what religion is? According to the Quran, ذَلِكَ الدِّينُ الْقَيِّمُ. The way you are constituted by your Creator is the upright religion. That's why you sometimes feel that when I am speaking, I usually refer to institutions as, forget about them, external. The upright religion, according to the Quran, the way you are exactly created, do not contradict yourself. Be consistent within yourself. That's the religion of God. And it says to the religion, most people don't know again. ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون again. Okay, we don't notice. We look for institutions outside of ourselves. We look for institutions, traditions, inheritance, whatever you call it, inherited from our forefathers, or the forefathers of the society, forefathers of the culture, forefathers of the civilization, outside of you. Oh, this is a crazy thing that people are describing religion. Reducing religion to a building and to an, I don't know. Quran doesn't say this. That's what I feel. What is this saying? This verse is here. I never heard any definition of religion as the Quran does here. Have you heard? Have you heard any definition of the Quran as we hear here? You may think that I made up these verses because you never were aware that these verses exist in the Quran. You don't hear them because they don't call you to an institution owned by me. be careful, to an institutionalized, if you like. When the religion is institutionalized, it becomes external. When it becomes external, it becomes extra to your nature. When the religion becomes external to you, you have to follow something not within yourself but somewhere else. So be obedience to the authority outside, not within yourself. These are political maneuvers. You have to wake up. You have to wake up. This is an amazing subject that the Quran, when you study worship in the Quran, I said, oh my God, I've never heard this. As if this Quran is not the book I keep reading. No, it's nothing to do with me. Okay, so did you understand the sequence again? Especially this one. This one. In accordance with the original disposition from God, upon which He constituted human beings. It means He constituted you and me. He constituted you and me. This is in accordance with the original disposition that you and I have been constituted. That is religion. And if you think about the previous verse, you understand, set your face upright to the religion. The previous verse said, worship God. Don't worship anything instead of God. Do you understand it? That is worship. So we have to combine the notion of worship now. What? Primarily with the names of the Creator, manifested in the universe, manifested into you. So the same names same names have to correspond to each other. They get to know each other. They have to learn. The human beings have to learn who the owner of the names within themselves as they manifest themselves outside the universe. Communicate with them. Communicate with them through the names within yourself again. That is how you are constituted. By your Creator. So this is the worship. And then the names must correspond to each other. And then you find the religion within this correspondence. Religion is there. Now here, it is explicitly said that the original disposition from God upon which God constituted human beings. This is the one you have to your face upright. Set your face upright to the religion. This religion is that religion, the same, right? The verse says, "Set your face upright to the religion, upright to the religion." Which religion? Here explained. The original disposition from God upon which He constituted you. Yep. And don't change it. Let there be no change to corrupt what God has thus created. It means don't corrupt yourself. Don't corrupt the universe by interpreting it, by attributing the qualities on the universe to anything but their Creator. If you attribute these qualities in the universe to anything else, you are corrupting religion. You are corrupting your nature. you are corrupting your reality. So there is no communication between you and the created world. So the names manifested in you are not corresponding the names manifested in the universe. Do you get it now? And again, confirms this is the right religion. That's what, when we say, go and say, what are you doing? I'm just enjoying for example, trees. What is that? That's my worship. That's my religion. The basis of my religion. So when the sun sets, you say, okay, I have to now express it with my body, with my mind, with my feelings, say, God is the greatest. All praise due to God. It becomes natural to you now. Because your disposition is this. You express it. And what are you doing? I am doing a religious duty. No, that's I have been doing anyways. Not only while I'm praying, before also I was doing that. Prayer is the summary of my previous life. Nothing more. Just a summary, the abstract of your life. So these are how the Quran presents what worship is, how the Quran presents what religion is, how the Quran presents what the reality of the universe is, and finally, how the Quran presents and teaches us what our human reality is. Think about it. If this doesn't make sense, please let me know. If someone says, no, it doesn't make sense to me, please, I have to know it, and I would like to concentrate on it. Would you? Would you just? I think you wanted to say that. I'm excited today. It's beautiful verses. Yeah.
It seems like to kind of have an overview of this verse is really, because the end of the verse says most people do not know. So it's calling you to know, right? So this verse is really speaking to your consciousness by making a statement that's really asking you to ask your consciousness. And so it says, set your face upright in accordance with the original disposition. So that's asking you to see that the way you are created, every moment of your feelings or every moment of the creation side of the things happening to you, within you or outside of you, it's saying set your face upright to see that that original disposition is fitrat Allah, from God. And then it also says
as God constituted, fitrat Allah.
so also the creation of God. So it's just asking you to witness that in the creation of you is nothing but the original disposition of God's names manifesting on you. So it's saying don't change by seeing anything other than that within you.
Yeah. Be consistent. Be consistent within you. Yeah? Yeah, first, start from yourself. It's very, have you noticed that God is not really bringing to us anything extra to our own creation. Nothing extra. To our, whatever within is there. So don't distort it, don't spoil it, and you are on the right way. Be consistent within yourself. Never forget that. That is God's religion. So then you will understand. I understand that all the fiqh rules, all the, we call them Sharia rules, start making sense. But first start for yourself. If you see them extra from outside, from religious authorities, from religious institutions, they tell you you have to do that. You see that I am here, I am comfortable within myself, but somebody else offers me something extra to my being. If you see this in this way, you will never accept religion. Because this is outside, it's external to you. So we have to make it first within ourselves. And then you start understanding what the Quran is saying when it offers something for us to do. Because it is an external expression. It will be an external expression. For example, Quran says, eat and drink, but don't waste. That's a command. Don't you feel when you are hungry you eat, when you are thirsty you drink, and don't you feel within yourself that you should not waste? That's you. It's not extra. It's not extra. For example, when it says, فَأَقِمْ وَجْهَكَ لِلدِّينِ حَنِيفًا. So set your face upright to the religion with no swerving. No swerving, Hanifa, with a complete submission. It is within you. It's not extra. So, excuse me, you wanted to say something? I think you are raising your hand or doing something.
I have I guess a question.
Please, go ahead. If you have you been listening to us? Do you know where we started from?
I probably walked in maybe 5 minutes late. I probably
Okay, please go ahead. I'm afraid that, if somebody is not familiar with the method we are following, that it may be puzzling. That's why I welcome the questions, but consistent questions. Yeah, logically consistent. Yes, please go ahead.
I'm not sure I want to ask anymore.
No
Because
pressure.
I'm doubtful for any person who jumps in the subject without knowing what the really whole system is about. That's why I feel I'm not, how do you say it, unhappy with the questions, but the questions irrelevant to the topic makes me unhappy because it is extra, irrelevant. Because you have to know what is going on, and then within this format, or if you like, format, ask your question makes sense. Because what we are doing here is not what you usually hear. So it may contradict. Because of your previous knowledge, we say, don't misunderstand me, because I'm afraid of being contradicting causing a contradiction. We say, when you come here, please come here with a free mind, open mind. If you bring your baggage, definitely your baggage will be disturbed. That is inevitable, because your baggage has lots of external religion. Do you understand? That's what we have been emphasizing on. Leave your previous understandings on hearings, your Sunday school education on the shoe rack with your shoes, we say. Because the Sunday school education is good for the 5 years old at the most. Afterwards, you have to renew your mind. You have to check up. Now, imitation, now memorization, rote memories do not work when you want to understand what the Quran is teaching. You can memorize the Quran, but it is upon us to know what it is teaching me. So by memorizing the Quran, I may send Quran into another, how do you say, exile it, immigration, mahjur. That's the word Quran uses. Yeah, they make it hijrah, immigrant. It sent it into exile. It doesn't work. They said there are lots of problems, brother. I'm sorry. Lots of problems that we have to renew ourselves, inshallah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم آخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين الفاتحة